Hey, what's up guys, Snowy Minotaur here. Today I am talking about Chapter 4 Season 3 as it's coming to an end, and I realized I forgot I made a video talking about this season at the very beginning of it. It was one of my first videos of the season, talking about is Chapter 4 Season 3 disappointing at the very start, and I honestly called this season the worst season of Chapter 4. Well, I'm still gonna say it, this season was really not that great. And it is hands down the worst season from Chapter 4 so far. It's not the worst season I've ever played, definitely not. But I wanted to discuss my problems with this season with you all. So, let's hop into my first big issue with this season, and that was the Battle Pass. Now, I just want to say this right off the bat here. I do think every Battle Pass is worth it for the 950 V-Bucks, so I'm not saying this Battle Pass was bad, but comparing it to the previous two Battle Passes that we have had, this one is definitely probably going to be going down as one of the most forgettable ones. We did get some good skins out of here. We got like 3 good skins, which I actually liked from this season. There's only 3 of them. There was like 2 good emotes. We had a pretty good dance in here. There was also another dance that you could have got from doing challenges, and then they added a meme emote in here, which was probably the best emote out of here, the "This is fine" emote. We also had some pretty decent pickaxes, and we also had some pretty good gliders. I think my favorite one was the one that looked like a Beyblade. That one was funny. But I did have some major problems with this Battle Pass. Number one, a lot of the skins from here are just pretty bad. There's not a lot of skins from here, which I generally liked. Number 2, the lack of like any dances from here. I'm glad we got at least 2 of them, but more or less the other emotes were either built-in emotes or just party royale fodder. And number 3, most of the cosmetics that were in here are just gonna be very forgettable. There's a lot of back blings which really weren't that great, like just a bunch of loading screens. There were so many loading screens in here and just so much filler. This Battle Pass didn't really feel like anything crazy out of here besides like 3 skins out of here. But speaking of that, we gotta talk about 2 of them out of here because there's another problem with this Battle Pass, and that has got to be Optimus Prime and the Paradise Meowscles skins. So let's start with Optimus here. I do like this skin. I will tell you that right now, it is a good skin. However, I honestly feel like they did his set so dirty. Literally, he doesn't even have an emote. The only emote that he technically has in the set is built into him, which is pretty disappointing. Not to mention, the skin only has one other edit style, and that's just disappointing. I can understand why he was tier 100, and I'm not saying that it's a bad thing for tier 100s to be collaborations, as it is a smart idea, but this just did not work whatsoever, especially comparing it to the previous 2 battle passes that we've gotten from Chapter 4. Those 2 battle passes blow this one out of the water, especially when you're comparing the tier 100s, because the tier 100s that we got from the previous 2 seasons, the Ageless and Mizuki, amazing. And it doesn't have to do with them being original skins, it's because they actually fit the slot of tier 100. This is why skins like Optimus Prime to me just failed this season, and is another reason to why collaborations should not be tier 100s anymore. It's just like, if somebody wanted to get Optimus Prime, they had to play during the season that it was in, or else you can't get it anymore. I might make a video talking about this whole topic here, but the other skin, Paradise Meowscles, was such a terrible secret skin that literally they had to release it when the summer event came out, which, oh god, we'll talk about that a little later. But yeah, Paradise Meowscles, not even an original skin. It honestly should have just been an item shop skin instead of a battle pass skin. It's not a bad skin by any means, but more or less, if you're comparing it to the original skins that we've gotten as secret skins, this is one of the worst ones we have gotten in a long time. But yeah, the battle pass is pretty bad. I won't lie when I'm saying that. It is probably going to go down as one of the most forgettable battle passes of all time. So let's move on to my next problem with this season, and that was the map. I've been noticing something recently throughout these past couple seasons with this season and last season when it comes to the map. They actually change it really well at the very beginning, which is very awesome. I'm very happy that we get major map changes, but the biggest problem is that they don't really do anything else with the map. As much as people want to say how bad Chapter 3 was, at the very least with that map, even when we were getting map changes on day 1 of a brand new season, during that season we would also get other map changes. Some small ones, but a lot of big ones from time to time, which was pretty cool and was also very refreshing. This season we did not get a single map change whatsoever, which that was absolutely embarrassing. We didn't even get any last season either. But yeah, the map was still pretty good. I did really really like a lot of the locations, but more or less this whole map, like how they've been handling it so far, I generally am not the biggest fan of it. And that's sad because the map is good. I do think the map is good. I just think that they should update the map more. But my biggest complaints have to go to my next section of this video, and that is mobility. Oh my god. Oh my god. Where do I start with this? Okay, here's what I'll say about this. The map mobility was great, okay? I will say that right now. We had some really good map mobility. When it comes to item mobility, that is a 180 turn because the map mobility was great with really cool things like the zip lines being all around the map here and there. There was also new bouncing mushrooms and just like weird plants you can use, which was pretty cool. And not to mention the grind rail system being implemented to vines, which was awesome. And do I need to bring up the infinite rift statue? Those things were clutch as hell. But when it came to the mobility items, we didn't get anything realistically until like the last bit of the season to when we got the grapple glove re-added back into the game, which I'm grateful about that. That's a great item. But oh my god, like why didn't they add this in the beginning of the season? And I forgot to mention this as well here. Shockwave grenades were also added into zero build, which was a good thing as well. So they were listening a little bit, but this didn't really solve the issue when it came to like gunfights. People would want to try to get distance away from a gunfight if if they're low on health. This season, you pretty much almost could not get away from anybody, which was just absolutely terrible. But I wanted to talk about the loot pool here for this last section. The loot pool was fucking terrible. I'm sorry for cussing there, but I had to say that. This loot pool was terrible. Now, I will give this season credit. At the very least, we got more than like one other weapon added into the loot pool. From the previous season, we only had like one new weapon added in. We got quite a few of them, but some of them were very lazy and a lot of them were just not that great. Like, I think the best gun that they added this entire season was the flapjack rifle, the new LMG. I think that was actually a pretty balanced weapon. Or heck, even if I want to include this on here, the mammoth pistol was great. But like all the other guns that they added in, they were just, I don't know. The explosive repeater rifle was pretty good. I guess there's that I can say. The MK Alpha was just a reskinned version of the MK7 just with different stats. The thermal freaking DMR, like who the hell would use this? The kinetic boomerang, which had a lot of promise at the start, just became just not good, and I don't ever see a soul running this at all. And do I need to mention the laziest gun from this season, which was the Sharptooth shotgun? It's literally just the pump with a different stats. Just that's all it is. It's nothing original. I'm grateful at the very least they did keep some things from the loot pool from last season, like the Havoc pump. I'm so happy they kept that in because a lot of people are starting to now realize that this gun is potentially better than the original pump. But then they decided to bring back two spam weapons that nobody was asking for. The combat SMG, which wasn't as annoying as I thought it would have been this season, but it's still a very powerful SMG if you do control that recoil. But obviously the drum shotgun, as I've said it once, I'll say it again. Oh my fucking god, whoever thought of bringing back this shotgun was a good idea. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say. This shotgun single-handedly ruined this season for a lot of people, and myself included, because this gun literally takes no skill to use. Like, if it was just the mythic version that would drop on Loot Island, I would not be saying this right now, but they decided to fully bring back the gun entirely into the game, which was bullshit. And I totally forgot about this here too. The summer event was fucking terrible. I will say that again. The summer event was so bad that literally it felt like a content update rather than it actually feeling like an actual summer event. That's all I gotta say about that. I don't want to go on about that event, but that is it for today's video. This season overall was absolutely dog shit. I will tell you that right now. This was definitely the worst season from Chapter 4 so far. I hope next season they improve on this, because this season was absolutely disappointing. You guys, I know you guys can do better. This season was just not it, man. That is it for today's video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it. If you did happen to enjoy this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Don't forget to check out my Twitter, aka my X account, which once again just sounds like absolutely bad. Social sorts are on screen. Thank you all so much for watching. I love every single one of you. Remember everyone, it's always good to take chances.